really shaky as well.
Cheers.
Hey guys, Kalen here. Welcome back to another video. It's been a while. I always say that, it's been a while. And every video I plan to make will inevitably be emotional. For a while now, you've probably been looking through the history of my channel, and you can kind of see a pattern. It's like an algorithm I've created. I plan to be the rawest artist there is out there, a person that speaks truly from the heart. I'm not going to be fake in any way. And you already know that, don't you, Kieran?
Yeah.
So, like, how did I come to meet you?
Obviously, we met at strange times through some mutual friends. Obviously, you knew them, I knew them. They kind of introduced us, and then obviously we bonded more when we found out we had your brother. That obviously, who when you was in Canada, I used to work with him.
Yeah.
And then obviously it was strange when we found out that obviously we both knew him.
Yeah, it's like, it's a small world. It's crazy that obviously, like, being that far away and like kind of like briefly being in contact with my brother, like, obviously he's not gonna have mentioned you randomly. It's just a person, you know, he's working with.
Yeah.
He would have already have obviously had a connection, he's known you. But it's crazy how, like, when I came back from Canada to England and we just happened to meet at a pub, hanging out with, like, you know, friends of yours that obviously became mutuals of mine, and you mentioned that you worked at Bella. I knew my brother worked at Bella, and then we bumped into another friend, didn't we? The Hungarian party goer, Lightning Zolt.
Used to go to school with him.
Yeah, and he worked at Bella, but he had said as well that he'd known a guy called Brandon, and I was like, in Cantley, and it kind of like, obviously, we then found out, wow, like, you knew my brother. But it's like, moments like that, like, do you reckon there's any meaning behind it? Do you reckon, like, in times like that, it's got to mean something? Because it's like, I could have bumped into anyone and somehow our paths have crossed,
Like it was fate.
but interlinked like fate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, I mean, Kieran, you know I'm a very spiritual person, and like, I'm guided in such an uncanny way that, like, I don't think it were just coincidence or anything like that. It were definitely like fate, and it has inevitably brought us to this.
Definitely, because obviously we were just strangers, and then now look at how close we are. Obviously,
It's come to a moment where the things we're about to discuss and the topics we're going to talk about are like so far beyond what we would have actually talked about when we'd first met. Because like, as time went on, you know, we worked at the same industry. It was an entertainment industry. What were you like? Did you enjoy that period of your time?
I did enjoy it until a lot happened that changed quite a bit.
I mean, I felt the same way as well. Working in that industry was fun, and I had passion in it, and I knew, and you knew, I knew you were a good worker. You knew I was a very good worker. We were very passionate.
Yeah, you helped me get into it first, and then obviously you joined later on down the line, and we both enjoyed working with each other. Because obviously I had experience in there, and then obviously you started getting experience. We both worked together, had fun, obviously got our work done, and then all of a sudden everything just changed.
Everything changed, yeah. And do you like want to talk about like how it changed? Like, what is your perspective on how, kind of, let's say, like, because it was like, it were a very scary kind of transition.
Yeah.
And things in the workspace shouldn't exactly evolve around something so unreal like that when we've never done any wrongdoing of the sort.
No, because I remember the first day I walked in when this change had happened, and I went straight to the staff room, and I was like, what is going on here? I recognized that person, and they aren't very well of a person. And obviously, no one really knew at the time what I was on about.
Because you had previously worked with the new management in a prior job, so you knew of that person, and that person knew of you.
Yeah.
What were that person like? Because as that transition came in that industry, it drastically changed the way we valued the job we were working in.
It's kind of hard to tell what kind of person they were, because obviously they would sometimes mention the customers saying stuff, but you never know if it was really
The customers or that
Yeah.
person making an accusation.
There was one time they did make an accusation though, when
On you?
Yeah, there was someone that came in, and obviously I was still new at the time, so I was unaware, so I asked if, obviously, they were not supposed to be in there. Which obviously you would do, because you didn't want to try to go up to a random person and just say, yeah, you can't be in here. And then obviously they came in again later that day, but I was unaware at the time. But then in the trial meeting that I had with them, she did point out that apparently she had told me to go and kick them out, and I just blatantly ignored her and refused. So obviously that was just her, just putting the blame on me, even though I've not done anything wrong. So obviously when she joined that new company, she had basically just
Had an opinion of prior work which is purely in the past. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but obviously we did just have a miniature mic error. You'll see I turned it up, hopefully the audio was alright, but getting back to it,
Yeah.
it's like she had kind of taken an expression of you from a prior job.
that I had no experience in.
Yes, and obviously as a manager, she should have been very, lenient towards your needs and trying to train you to be the best of your ability, but really she belittled and kind of tried to fight her way into this defamation of yourself. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And basically explain to me how did it feel when you had this job for so long that you learnt to do, you was very passionate about it with the management that was there prior? How did it feel transitioning in and knowing that the new management was going to be someone that treat you the way how you felt in your prior job?
Obviously it felt horrible, because obviously I really enjoyed the job, I had experience in it, they was training me on new things, and obviously it was a job that I was really passionate about because I enjoyed it, and it's something I would really like to do. And then it all just changed when they joined, because obviously just out of nowhere, just everything was taken away from me, and I didn't even get any verbal warnings, it was just gone.
Just fired without really any responsible circumstance.
Yeah,
It was
there was no meetings.
Because
no
I
telling me.
remember the day you told me, can you just talk to the manager? I feel visibly ill, which you sent me a snap. You didn't look very well. Obviously, I've known Kieran for a while now. You are a true friend of mine compared to many, many friends that I've had in my heart here that have shat on me. You have been loyal. That's why I've put you here in this circumstance. You have always been loyal. I know you'd never lie to me. And on that day, I went and told, obviously, the manager. And then that was genuinely the last time I'd ever worked with you. That's how I view it. And then, she mentioned you needed to get in contact through an app that you didn't even know you needed to use to message.
Yeah,
So therefore,
obviously, the way we got taught the app was just, it's to check your time schedule, and obviously if someone puts their schedule up because they can't do it, you can claim it. They never said anything about messaging. So obviously if I wasn't taught that you could message on the app, I'm not going to use it to message because I didn't even know it existed. And obviously you know me, I go to work even if I'm ill, even if I don't feel well, because obviously it's my shift and my responsibility to take care of it.
You were very passionate in the job, and it's a terrible circumstance. And my opinion on this circumstance is it's became so bizarre that it has frightened how it's made not just me and you. We can agree here that there's many other people that are kind of fearing this and making this kind of evil tyranny a part of their lives because of this person, this management. And I don't agree with it, and it's a dark feeling that I just want to put behind me. I do not care about anything to do with that industry. I only cared that I was keeping the children safe, I was cooking the party meals, I was doing everything in my power just for the money, because at the end of the day, I'm just a human being trying to get by, making money. And you, Kieran, you were probably doing the same thing. It makes me wonder, like, what is your opinion just on that segment of your life? Like, does it ever, like, frighten you in a way that it's like, wow, all I was trying to do was work, but it turned into this, like, evil kind of force trying to grip you in?
Yeah, it just makes you think that, like, obviously, if she can go from one job to another that have no correlation to each other, if I ever get, like, another job in that same area, what if she joins there as well?
Yeah.
Like, how is that going to affect me looking at me and being like, oh, you went to this job and then was just taken away from it? Like, that looks like you're a bad worker.
Exactly.
But in reality, it's just the same person ruining my life for the future. And obviously, going back to our mutual friends, well, supposed friends,
Yeah.
they obviously kept making up stories saying that obviously they've said this about you, they've said that. Why is this not happening? And
Yeah.
obviously just making accusations to try and bring me down. But obviously, I knew they weren't true.
Let's just cut back to accusations and certain, people trying to cause those accusations. We live in a world at this point where evidence doesn't really matter anymore, and stories become the prior, like, device used in a plot to try and weaken someone. Now, I could mention with the management on how I've been alleged of such horrible, heinous crimes, and I'm actually a God believer, and I don't preach violence, I don't preach any negative sin, and
You're clearly Christian as well, because you're wearing the cross as well.
I do wear, in fact, like, this cross. Like, I don't wear it all the time, but it's been a big part of me. And I mean, fuck, man, I've read the Bible. I don't care if I'm swearing, because I know, like, in my heart, truly, I have the power to be in control, and I know when I sin. But at the end of the day, every person I come across, if they are righteous and I can visualize that they are righteous, I will know. And I know when a person is evil, because they're out to bite at everything that you have because of envy. There's something clearly going on here that defamates me as a person. They're trying to change what I aspire to be, which is minor lyrics. You know that. Every time I hang out with Kieran, every time I've hung out with other friends in Canada and England, I've always preached my music, because that's what I want. I'm not no person going around doing heinous activity like all the protesters in the UK right now, and horrible people like that. I just want to be free of this horrible existence. Not death. I mean, I want to be free of pain, and I want to prosper inevitably into pure amity.
And just feel safe and not anxious
Exactly.
when you go out. Because obviously you can't even tell what the future is anymore. Like, it's just so bizarre that you think to yourself, anything can happen, and you're always just paranoid, like, what if...
It can rock your head. You could be peaceful in one segment of your life and have everything under control. But remember what I told you when we had a brief moment, sat together. I told you that it's all down to people.
Yes.
Do you remember me saying that?
Yes.
So basically, what I meant by that is whatever problem you face in life will always backtrack to people. If you have no money, it's always people. Do you know why? Think about friends that you have around you that encourage you to buy stuff. Think about girlfriends that encourage people to buy things. Think about borrowing people money. Think about using your money around a person to have a good time. Think about fucking traffic wardens that want your money. Think about police officers that want your money when you get charged with something and you have to pay bail. Think about food you have to buy. You have to go and buy that from someone that's put that there, from a warehouse who's ever made it. It's all people. We are the parasites of the earth. If you were bullied in school, the word bullied inevitably comes from people. The word murder inevitably comes from people. The word sin comes from a person because of Adam and Eve, if you believe in the story. No one ever does, and I'll explain it. So it's like obviously two people, as simple as it may be, in the Garden of Eden, this place that was around before time apparently. It could be a made up story, I don't know, or it might not, but you know, boy and girl, male and female, they were just living peacefully in this garden, and basically this apple appeared, and God said don't take a bite from the apple, because it's like he were testing her on a free will. He said don't do it, but she were like, nah, because you've said don't do it, I will. I took a bite, and he smited her. And it's part of like the Old Testament way. It's all to do with Christian and that, but
there's different stories of that.
There's many different interpretations of every aspect of religion.
One of the stories
and religion can be scary.
Yeah, one of the stories I've heard was she was tempted by, I think it was a snake. Correct me if I was wrong.
Something like that. Because I might even, like, believe it or not, I might even be getting the story wrong, but it's simply because of what you've just said. There's many interpretations of everything.
Yeah.
There's many interpretations of movies, books, music, religion, politics, the way the world is, someone's brain. I could be having a debate with anyone about how they are, and they could be like, no, I'm feeling this way. No, you're not feeling that way, you're feeling this way. People become so diverse in the branches of many different reasonings, and when certain ones interlink, it can really upset and make people mad. But you can gain pure experience from it. Like, think of people that have belittled you, Kieran, and I've always told you, these type of people that are spreading all these horrible lies about you are evil. They are kind of jealous in their doing because they aspire what you want. I mean, what you have, sorry.
That is correct.
You don't let people get to you. I know you don't.
Nope.
You can channel it away. It's like, no matter what someone says to you, it doesn't matter. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, but even sometimes it's like, you feel like it doesn't affect you, but then sometimes it can actually. Even if you don't realize it, it's like it still plays on your mind and sometimes changes the way you feel.
Yeah.
So obviously they don't know the impact they have on you, but they will not feel guilty because obviously they think they're in the right. But it can really change someone's life, and obviously they will not know any ideas.
No, because when it comes to like two people having a disagreement or an agreement, the other party, no matter how much you try to encourage them on how wrong, because there's always going to be a balance, but sometimes like a person may be more wrong than the other.
Yeah.
And basically when something gets told, but you have direct proof that what they've said is a lie, it can backfire, because no matter how much they've tried to persuade in their mind that what they are seeing and what they are doing is the truth, it really isn't. It's like people can manipulate so much, and it can stem from friends, it can stem from just a random white lie from a stranger, your family, maybe a past girlfriend or past friends, or like you just everyone.
Anything.
It's people, and I'm basically obviously I can never say I'm done with people, but there's a lot of people that aren't in control of what they are doing. They are lost in the source, as a homie of mine in Canada would say, like, don't get lost in the source, Nathan. But like, you gotta like stay true to yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you wake up in the morning, what do you aspire to be? Like, what's your purpose in life?
Currently I'm trying to figure that out, so I'm kind of just drifting along. Wherever it takes me whilst I figure it out myself, you know, to obviously know
you probably like trying to like gain extra experience.
Yeah.
You know, I'd say like coming from me, because I want to see like I want to try and like see how well I know you, and then you'll do the same.
Yeah.
So like I believe, Kieran, that like, you know, you've gone through some shit, and that's coming from someone who has as well. Like, we're both sitting here, we've suffered probably some terrible things. Like, we don't have to really discuss it, but it's there, the trauma's there. And we've moved on to better days. Like, you can definitely probably say, I mean, you've got your own place. It's pretty nice. I like it. It's nice. And you know, you've bettered yourself. You haven't worsened yourself.
That is true.
And I think you're still in a state of mind where you're like you've just said, on your purpose. You're trying to find like reasoning behind like anything that you do. You definitely do want to gain more experience. You want to put yourself out there, but you're a bit timid too. Obviously, there's no severe mental illness, and you're just loyal, bro. But you're quiet, but you can open up and you get bubbly and cool. And he's good at video games. He's pretty good at video games.
I mean, so are you as well, though. Obviously, you've got something I liked. What's it called? The reward it gave you.
What do you mean?
You've helped me the 7 finishes in a match. I remember you were showing me how good you was to get that, and obviously I tried. I couldn't do it. So then you've helped me get that. The
hard breakup calling card on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horrible calling card that, like getting 7 executions in one match, and I helped him cheese it. But yeah, good times, bro. I mean, I've had a lot of fond memories of video games, like in the past, like from growing up at such a young age and just adoring like what technology could do, but because it was so early on, it felt at its purest compared to now. Like, if we kind of look at what cell phones do and the evilness of what surrounds a cell phone, it can be kind of bizarre. I mean, there's a bite on the back of an iPhone, by the way, of an Apple. Think about that. There's a bite on the back of your phone that you're watching this video on. Like
the same story we were speaking about earlier with Eve biting the apple.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, just people again. People on phones. People online. Chronically online.
Like when phones first came out, all you could do was message and call people.
Which was nice.
Obviously, get in touch with friends, that was about it. Social media first come out, it was, again, just to post a few selfies or speak to friends once again.
Exactly.
But now it's like, everything has a version of like small videos you can scroll through.
Yeah, it's like, there's every kind of possibility now for the internet. You want to find anything on the internet now.
It's there.
It's there. It's all out there. And how I want and hope people to view it is, I'd hope that they wouldn't trap themselves in kind of just scrolling. And, you know, like a lot of crazy shit can come from that. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's the fun occasional, you know, meme, funny video. TikTok can be kind of nice. But I'd love to see, and like the best part of the internet, I think, for me, is like becoming something on it and creating like a character in a professional way where I'm never going to hurt anyone. I'm doing purely what I love. I will forever purely do what I love until it kills me. And basically, that's the purity of the internet. But whereas if people are chronically online, it can become like a problem that can surface into and sliver into this uncanny reality around us. Do you get what I mean? Like,
yeah, because it can even change people's views on life. Obviously, if you see so much misinformation or like,
you get a perception of like mixed storytelling, and you don't know what to believe.
Yeah, because if you've never seen it before and then you're introduced to it, and obviously all of these are the bad in it, you're going to think it's bad to begin with. But you'll never see the good in it because you was always shown the bad through what you're looking at.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, do you ever feel like artificial intelligence will take over, or do you reckon it's created? Do you reckon artificial intelligence's creativity is lackluster?
I mean, that kind of varies because it can be used for good and bad. Obviously, it's being used a lot now, don't get me wrong, but some people use it to help instead of...
Oh, definitely. Like, it's an assist.
But then others are using it just purely
to create everything that they are.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think obviously it should only be used if typically needed to help out and assist, not actually be used as a day-to-day basis. Because if you rely on that, what happens when it disappears? Then you're kind of just stuck with yourself
where you've got no creativity.
Just think of it as like medicine. Obviously, you use medicine to help you, but then when you don't have medicine, you start to get worse again. Like cough syrup for a cough. If you don't have cough syrup, the cough gets worse.
Yeah, it's like aiding on something so much that if it can disappear, it might leave you inevitably like stuck.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'd hope and pray that whatever stays on the internet, like good stuff, stays there. But like, I think everything like AI, it's like kind of like crept its way slowly into like every platform, and I don't like it. There's no soul behind artificial intelligence, unless you're using very, very good programs, which cost a lot of money, by the way. And if you're having to provide for many people, say like there's a lot of people that like probably can't. Like, what's the point? You know, I mean, I've crept AI into, but like you said, I've used it to assist, and like I won't ever like detach from like the creativity in here and in here.
Yeah, like you can use it to give you ideas where it's like, oh, I'm thinking of something but I don't know how to put it into words. Can you help me? Or just like help you get ideas. Say you're a drawer and be like, oh, can you give me ideas with this
On
kind of
how
theme?
to draw it, yeah.
But instead of just being like, oh, give me a picture and then claiming that as your own, that's kind of just too much for it.
Oh, definitely. I genuinely think like ChatGPT is very, very powerful, and it's like you could just imagine like you could type in something as easy as like, yo, ChatGPT, write me this, write me that, and it becomes a song. And then you could like it's easy, and you could get songs done daily, but there's no passion in it. There's no storytelling behind an artificial intelligence song, because at the end of the day, a computer does not have the creativity
or the emotions that get put into songs.
The emotions and experiences get put into actual music.
So obviously getting into movies, obviously you've been around mine a few times. Obviously you've been showing me a lot of movies I would never typically watch.
Yeah.
So obviously you're showing me a new genre of movies I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
And obviously that's helping me
kind of understand a lot of... It's a weird one, because like you say, like the topic of movies, like me as a person, if I didn't have a good movie in my life, which sounds so simple by the way, it does, but this is me as a person. It is a very, very simplistic thing. If I didn't have a good movie in my life, I'd somewhat be no one, and I can kind of express and storytell through movies. Obviously, I'm not one of them weirdos that like turns into a character. I am me. You can tell I am. I'm not some like, yo, what's going on? Name's Leon. Where's everyone going? Bingo. In it, exactly. So like, it's all these movies that create an influence on me, and basically like what we've been doing, haven't we? With every time we hang out, you know, we get up to a lot of good stuff. I almost said shit there. Not that I care about the swearing. I'm not in it for money. Money doesn't matter when it comes to YouTube. I'm kind of sorted anyway. Movies, it's like I show you what psychological thrillers. Like what are your opinions on these psychological thrillers?
Obviously they get you thinking, and obviously you kind of see how a person is depending on how they perspective. Because obviously me and you both have different perspectives on the film. Sometimes they correlate, sometimes they're just completely different, but obviously it's just how you take it as a person, and it shows how your mind will put things together.
Exactly. And that's well said, Kieran. Like, if you could come up with like 3 movies just to tell to the audience, because I don't even think my audience are very aware yet, but they will do in the future, of like how passionate I am for movies, cinema, directing, producing, and just all of that, even the acting. You know, like I went to Vancouver, didn't have to be an actor, failed. Oh, fuck. And it's like, yeah, like they have a very significant impact on my life, and I want nothing more but for people to just kind of chill for a minute and kind of like forget about the bizarre hatred going on in the world with two-tier policing and protesters and politics and religion all kind of like creating this diversion. Let's just all sit down and enjoy a good movie and talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Innit? Do you know what I mean? Is it that difficult to just sit there and enjoy something anymore? Do you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
no one enjoys anything anymore. No one is passionate about anything. Do you get what I mean? And
Yeah.
I know when I hang out with you, you can appreciate stuff. It's like 3 movies, Kieran. Like, what do you think the top 3 movies I've showed you is?
Obviously, Coherence is one that you've obviously made me think about. We both had similar perspectives, but that changes throughout the movie, because obviously you knew what you would see. It was my first time, so obviously you wouldn't spoil it, but obviously we would have similar perspectives, and then it'll all change towards the end. Obviously, you showed me one of your top 3 movies, Clockwork Orange. That was a really good film as well. It gets you thinking.
Definitely. What would you say a third?
Is it called Jack? The house built by
the
Jack.
house that Jack built.
Yeah, and then there's
Perfect Blue.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the other one. I forgot what it's called.
I can't remember.
Oh my god, what is it called?
I'm not really sure.
It's one where they go on like this massive trip, and then obviously they start getting really into drugs, and then it affects their life.
Requiem for a Dream.
Yes, that's it. Yes, Requiem
for a Dream.
That was like the first psychological movie you ever actually showed me, which was obviously put me into that genre, and that was a very
realistic movie.
Yeah.
Can you understand that the themes and devices used in many of these psychological thrillers can kind of... I know they're very extreme and exaggerated and they're just movies, but can you kind of see like a version of like reality popping out at you and kind of smacking you in the face and telling you, yo, don't be like these guys?
Yeah, it kind of tells a story, and it's like, obviously, your life can turn out like this if you do the same outcomes.
Exactly, because like with Requiem for a Dream, it's showing you like the severity of drugs. With Clockwork Orange, it's showing you the severity of being a fucking twat in a gang, like a chav. And basically, like, every movie I'm showing you, like, don't get me wrong, we've watched some nice comedies, haven't we?
Yeah.
Beavis, like... Did somebody say score? Like, we watched Beavis and Butthead. It's like, I'm trying to get at the point that, like, going back to, like, people not being passionate anymore, it's like, they're not appreciating just a simple movie. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, all I want to do is vibe with people to movies, music, and everything that is entertainment. Like, I mean, I put myself in that entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be bored in like a fucked up 9 to 5. I'm gonna fill myself up, geezer.
The thing with music though is like a lot of people are into like what's the genre
Many
called?
different genres. Oh, a specific genre.
Yeah, it's like
Cheers.
it's like the UK kind of grime. That's the word it's called.
Grime or drill.
Yeah.
There's too many
Songs like that now.
There's too many songs like that, and in the UK significantly, it has impacted our youth. And I think music like that, drill, grime. Don't get me wrong, there's some good drill, some good grime. You've got JME, Skepta. I don't really know many. H is alright. Central C is kind of just a cookie cutter artist.
I've personally not actually heard of them because obviously growing up, obviously my mum would always listen to Clubland music.
Clubland.
Which I'm not really a big fan of, but obviously it's all I grew up with, so obviously I'm still experiencing the genres and stuff. But I listen to music differently to everyone else. Obviously, say I were to listen to a song and like it, I would go to the artist and listen to their song.
To see how that artist is, rather than just that one in particular song.
Yeah. So I listen to artists rather than genres.
Exactly.
So obviously, yeah, you can say I'm a bit uneducated when it comes to music, but I'm open to listening to other
many
songs.
different like styles, themes,
Yeah.
but you know what artists just sat on for definite. And
Yeah.
it's cool you say that, because that's how I'd hope certain people would like kind of view my music. Like, I don't want to really have like an impact just through one song. I want like someone kind of like how you've said to kind of study and delve into the concept of what I've created, because at the end of the day, like the amount of hard work that has kind of gone in as an independent artist is crazy to me. Like, I'm not trying to big myself up or kind of ego trip myself, because I know how little I still am in this world.
And then obviously there's people that, like, say an artist, they would go through different types of genres, so all the songs aren't typically the same. So it's like, if you hear one bad song, you're not just going to think that, like, oh, they just make everything bad.
Yeah, literally.
Like, you would at least go check them out to see if any other songs are to your taste.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, going back to, obviously, our story of how we've developed to where we are now, obviously we've had some ups and downs.
Definitely. Not between the two of us, but
Just
more just
life that's
life
brought us
experience.
together.
Yeah, it's like, even in this moment, we can agree, we don't have to really get into it, but this moment led from an experience kind of similar to this, and it's like, these experiences is really where loyalty comes in, where it's kind of crazy for me to say that, like, I can go through such extreme moments in my life where, like, I might be losing everything, losing grip of a little thing because it stumbles into reality, and you're always there.
Yeah, like, obviously the bad times always show you who's there for you and who's not.
Exactly.
So I remember one time, obviously, you had rang me with a situation, and I was currently laid in bed ready to
Pass out, pretty much, like.
But then obviously I chose to wake up and obviously comfort you, and then obviously we'd met up that night. And obviously I tried to get you into my place at the time, but because it was like a shared, well, not a shared accommodation,
Community building.
It was kind of like a housing situation for young people. So obviously they had specific rules, so they wouldn't allow you in past a certain time. So obviously I've gone out of my way to come out
And
when you had nowhere else to go.
With me, it was pretty late as well. Do
Yeah,
you remember,
it was
I actually remember that. Do you remember, like, the circumstance as well? Something so, like, silly, but, like...
Yeah, it was like past 10 o'clock that you wouldn't be allowed in. So obviously I've packed a bag, I've come out, so obviously we was both fine for the night. And obviously we did what we could. Obviously the situation wasn't the best of situations, but obviously I was there for you throughout, even though we was basically waiting for work that night.
Yeah, because I'd basically, I'd locked myself out, but it, like, I'm not blaming anyone, but obviously the person I was living with kept the key in the door, and I'd been out like a moron, hanging out, and I'd gone to go home, and I couldn't get in. I couldn't climb through any window, I didn't really want to try, it was pretty late. And I was like, well, I've got really no one to comfort me in a situation where I'm going to be homeless all night. And then I knew I had work at 8 o'clock the next day, and we ended up under the facility of the mall, and we spent a night there. It's on my TikTok, listed under, like, I put a brief couple of videos out on my TikTok where I was in order putting the titles of my album song names in the middle behind a video. That's why whenever I show you in memory of that night, it says "Call Me If You Get Lost," and that's track 8 on the album. But, like, moments like that, Kieran, I'm forever grateful. Like, it goes back to, like, a second time where, you know, I'd got myself in, I call it a situationship, because inevitably, you know, it weren't more than, like, this relationship. We'd made a song together. It's a decent song, and it's not a song I'd typically make, and, you know, we were talking for a bit. You know she was a sweet girl. She didn't really seem that evil, and yet again, just random accusations flying out the window, and it led to, like, some sort of a break, not a break-up, but some sort of a break. We stopped talking. I was in a mess, like, being a bit of a bitch, I'll say. You know, like, my god, minor lyrics getting all, like, emotional over some chick, like. Well, no, like, I mean, a lot of my music has experiences from certain women in it, And but yeah, you were there for me that night. I was crying. Men cry, real men cry. And you met up with me again. Like, you left and you met up with me again to assist me when I felt shit about a change. And change I love change, but change can also be a drastic transition into the unknown.
But it always shapes you as a person as well. Like,
Definitely.
it makes you a better person because you know you've been through that, so obviously you can better yourself, but also help others through the same situation if they ever get into it, because obviously you have experience with it, so you'll be able to be there for them as well.
Yeah.
So you should never think about it negatively, and think about it positively to push who you are and know you're able to help others in the same situation.
Oh, definitely. And it's like relationships can kind of diffuse like certain personality traits. They can eliminate them permanently. And I remember before kind of like waking up and getting enlightened, one of my first kind of severe relationships, truly, and yet again, because a lot of people for some reason like to take advantage of me for some reason and portray me as a bad guy, when really all I've ever done is try to persuade happiness and the best for everyone, and all people want to do is consume the worst for me. And like my first relationship, going back to personality traits, I just remember being so blind and destructive, and many personality traits were broken and many new personality traits were evolved. And I definitely woke up from a nightmare of accusations again, because many people like to accuse me of crazy things that I will always overcome, because obstacles are just there. You get what I mean?
It's kind of weird though, because like accusations, if it's a girl saying it, they just instantly have action.
Have the power. And that's not us being fascist. It's more to do with like how society and reality have portrayed like men to be. Like, yes, I mean, we are significantly dominant, but it doesn't mean to say that just because like an accusation can occur from a woman to a man that she automatically gains power. Like, I've had, and you've probably had, experiences of like certain women, and we're not belittling all women, it's just women we've encountered. It's like they've tried to belittle us in weird ways that can alter reality but give us experience and understanding through everything they try to destroy.
Which brings me to one time, obviously I just turned of age to be able to go out and drink, and obviously this one person, a mutual friend of a friend that I knew, obviously had invited me around town. So obviously with me just being of age, I was like, yeah, I can do, because it's still something new to me. Then obviously they basically didn't interact with me the whole night, so I kind of went off, did my own thing, and obviously throughout the night I was waiting for them, and then I had security come up to me and ask me to leave. Obviously I didn't want to cause a problem because I'm not the problem maker, so I listened and I was asking like, oh, what had happened, what's going on? And they said I'd basically been accused of sexual assault. Obviously I've never done anything like that before.
No, and I know you wouldn't.
But
I
yeah.
know you wouldn't. I've seen the way you treat women, and you treat them just like human beings.
But they said she had just walked out of the bathroom and I wrapped my arm around her shoulder and grabbed her tit and then slapped her ass. Which obviously, that is just wrong in the first place. But then obviously that instantly got me arrested and locked up. And the police weren't exactly very helpful either.
The police never are.
They said they would get the footage soon. And then obviously I asked, they was like, we'll get it in the morning. So
It's
I tried
like you want to
sleep.
demand footage because deep within your soul you know you are a free and innocent person, because in your mind you're like, nah, this is an accusation here, and I'm going to diffuse it because this is just some sort of bizarre, like, uncanny behaviour from a human being that envies who you are, Kieran.
That honestly messed up that time of life though, because obviously I had to spend that night in the jail cell for something I didn't do.
Yep.
Obviously they said they'll get the footage in the morning, so I asked them in the morning. They said obviously it's not open until later at night. So I was like, okay, that's fair enough. They let me out in the afternoon. My parents had, well, my mum, because I don't actually know my dad, had basically told work that obviously I won't be coming in. Obviously I wanted to go to work to try and take my mind off of things. So obviously I went to work, I was speaking to one of my friends who worked there, obviously your brother, and then that caused problems at work because the manager, I was speaking instead of actually working, but I was trying to take my mind off of things. But then obviously all my mum would say to me is, you know you're innocent, so don't think about it. But obviously words like that can change your life for the worse.
Oh, definitely.
So obviously it's going to be playing on my mind. But the only words of encouragement I had is, you know you didn't do it, forget about it. But obviously, them words, even if it is false, can truly mess up your mind.
High heart rate. Your heart rate rose above 120 beats per minute.
While you were seen to be inactive for 10 minutes.
It says on his Apple Watch there. That's a nice little Apple Watch you got there.
Thank you. Obviously, I got it for my 21st birthday, actually.
Nice. But like, it's crazy how like you get yourself involved with people.
Yep, going back to people.
It always will go back to people. This is like the main theme at this point. And all you wanted to do was what? Socialise. So you'd gone out.
I was speaking to a close friend, obviously, about it.
Had that friend that you kind of just was introduced to.
Mm-hmm.
There was no intent. There was no, nothing there. It was purely just like you, went there with whole intent to just communicate.
And then obviously, because they was doing their own thing, I kind of went off to their friend group, and obviously I was actually getting to know one of their friends, and obviously not in like a relationship way, but just like a friendly way.
Just talking to them.
Obviously, I was getting along with them, they were getting along with me.
And an accusation just flies like that, and you just don't know where it comes from, and bada bing, bada boom.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, wow, is this person okay? And
the worst part about it though is like 2 weeks later, I had the police knocking on my mum's door when I was asleep, so obviously she had woke me up. They said that person had dropped the charges, but like surely after 2 weeks they should have found the footage. Because it's not hard to just go to the club and ask for the footage of, oh, this night, this time. But no, 2 weeks had gone past with it still playing on my mind before they had just dropped the case. Obviously during that time they said I shouldn't speak to anybody about it, but I actually got in touch with one of their friends in that friend group. Even they had told me that like, this person has split personality disorder, so obviously that had caused it. And they knew themselves. They said that I was basically with them that whole time. Which obviously wasn't the person I was speaking to, but obviously I was one of the persons I'll speak to friends, so obviously I was with that group instead of just one specific person. Even they had said I had not done anything. Like, basically when I'm waiting for someone, I will put my hands behind my back and lean against the wall, so my hands are like squished between my back and the wall, so there's no possible way I could even...
reaching to grab anyone.
Yeah. And obviously they was like, yeah, you didn't do anything. So obviously it was making me paranoid thinking, okay, what if I actually got too drunk and I couldn't remember anything, even though I had a clear vision in my mind.
Yeah. And you know within your heart and your soul, whenever you're right, you're right.
Yeah, because like I typically don't forget anything when I've been drinking.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And it's just going on the idea of like defamation of character. You described to me how defamation of character makes you feel. How someone can alter who you truly are and kind of try to pretend to portray someone you're not.
Obviously it just plays on your mind knowing that like... Obviously at first I was thinking, I have not done that, so I was a little mad, of course. But obviously I tried to ring them when I finally got my phone back. They didn't answer, so I was like, okay, fair enough. I'm going to go to work to try and take my mind off things. Well, obviously speaking to a colleague of mine at work kind of put me off of my job, which got me in trouble because I wasn't doing my work. And then obviously, and at the time I didn't really have anybody, except obviously my colleague, who I was speaking to, who was actually encouraging, like, not encouraging, like, helping me.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're a good friend. And obviously my parent was just telling me, forget about it, you've not done it, it's fine. But obviously, even just the impact of them words alone can change your life forever.
Yeah.
Because if that gets written down,
And
anyone's
they,
going to see you as a
they
bad person.
falsely accuse you of such fucking tyranny. That's what it is. It's like how a wicked mind tries to prosper.
But the fact I knew in my heart that I had never done that, but it was still making me paranoid and playing on my mind that, like, made me even manipulate myself.
It puts you in such stress.
Like, it even made me manipulate myself, thinking, like, what if I did actually do that? And I was just too drunk. But, like, I never get drunk.
Yeah, but you knew. So it's like, it's still an idea, but it's like you knew the truth. I get how you feel, and I get what you mean, because such heinous things have also stemmed in similar ways in my life, with people trying to slam false accusations on me. And I don't really have to go into detail about it, but all I am going to say about it is that when a person does that, it doesn't matter what other people think. It only matters what I think and what I know.
Yeah.
And I know if I continue to do the music and showcase my passion, why have I got any reason to want to go out of the way and cause harm and problem to others?
That is true. Just obviously be yourself, and obviously, if you're nice to others, typically they should be nice to you, but that's not always how
That's
it
not
works.
always the case,
So obviously,
yeah.
I've always had everyone's best interest in heart, but then others take that as an advantage and try to ruin you.
Yep. And it's like, I can tell with how you've been and how I've been around you, like, a lot. You like to game out, you know, you enjoy a good movie, you know, you're open to chat a lot, you show me some dank funny memes. There's no way I can see you going out your way to do something as bizarre as what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And just, people are evil. People are very, very uncanny. And it always stems to, like, envy, I think.
It's like that mutual person when I managed to get out of that situation, so they use you to get to me by blackmailing you to say things to hurt me, making me believe that it was you all along.
Yep.
When in reality,
It's just them.
they were just jealous of our friendship.
Yep. And that's how far it can go. It can, like, many friendships can kind of go separate ways. Like, you might have two friends, for instance, me and you might have other mutuals. We hang out with them at the time, but then there could be like a moment where that person could text you about me, or that person could text me about you, and then it creates like this crazy diversion. And I'd love to always know where stuff like that can stem from, but ultimately I don't think there is. I think it more just always will stem to envy, hatred. Hatred is envy, and anyone that is angry is envious and jealous of the other party. So say if someone is in love and has kids, or has a big fucking massive mansion house and a nice Ferrari, starts belittling someone that doesn't have any of it, they're gonna kind of like get insecure and think, oh, like, I'm using all this device as a way to make him envious, but at the end of the day, it's all here. It's what you know and what you think and who you are.
That is true.
Like, consumables and materialistic items don't matter in this world. What matters is your perception and your willpower and your way of life, and how you portray what you want to portray. And all I want to portray is preach, and I want to prosper peacefully, and I want to showcase it in such a light. I don't want to show any darkness, and if there's any such darkness within the art that is minor lyrics, just know it's always gonna be art. It's never dark. The darkness around me is energy from people.
Even people can change your way of life, though. It's like...
Exactly. You
Obviously-
could fall in love with the wrong person. You can become friends with the wrong person.
Not even that, it's like, even strangers, like, not many appreciate if you help them. Just like the time, remember when we was around in town together, and I held a door for someone, and they said, oh, thank you, obviously no one shows kindness anymore, like, obviously you've given me a glint of hope.
Yeah.
Obviously that, in being told to me, has made me feel better about myself, because they actually appreciated what I did for them, and obviously complimented me on it. Obviously, all it takes is a little compliment to make someone's day better, but like, no one ever does that.
No.
It's like, you'll move out the way, you'll hold a door for someone just in kindness,
And they're like
they'll
so
just
blind.
ignore you.
They're so blind to like what you're actually doing and how impactful that change could be. Because you could walk by someone and it could be as simple as a smile, and that can change everything. Or you could walk by someone and they could have a balaclava on and a hood up and ignore you but give you a stare, and something so little like that can
Paranoid you.
impact you. So it's like the differences in society can alter your perspective, and it's who you know, what you know, where you are, and who you trust. And it's as simple as knowing when evil's just round the corner.
Even the littlest things though, like the time we went to get food, and obviously you were all going to your dad's, I was going to my friends around your dad's. So obviously I had left early to grab my bag to be prepared, but then obviously when I had left, a lot of stuff had happened that I had missed. So it's like, if I didn't leave in that time, what would have happened?
The butterfly effect. Something so small can have a significant impact of everything.
Because I remember walking back with my bag, and I saw you coming up to me, and you was telling me not to go down there because obviously they
were evil people.
Yeah, I remember your words were like, don't go down there, they're looking for you, and they have like an army Swiss knife on them.
Yep.
So I was just like...
Yeah, and then what did we get called just for diffusing the situation? By our mutuals. Do you remember how I were getting called a pussy and a coward and stuff? Do you remember? Just because I tried to diffuse the situation of being around evil people that own weapons. Instead of using violence.
But then they was making it worse because apparently they misinterpreted him as you. But it's like, surely
I look completely different to the
like
person.
your hair colour's different, you wear glasses, they don't. So it's like, he must have done something to cause that to happen, or like, they was just that type of people to go after anybody.
Yep.
But like, they still blamed you for that, saying that you were the issue and they thought he was you.
And do you know what makes it even crazier, right? In that situation, I could have been there and let them beat me up. Like, it was a horrible time, evil people that had no reason to do what they did. They were just there. There's a lot of evil, horrible things happening around the world right now.
The weird thing though is it's always the children now.
It's always the youth.
Like when we were children, we would
riding
play
a bike,
games,
playing
ride
games, playing with our siblings, going
or even
out.
a game called Kirby, if you ever remember that, where one of us would be on each side of the
I do
road throwing the
remember
football
Kirby.
at the curb.
I do remember Kirby.
Like, that doesn't exist anymore. Like, all the kids now are just vapes, drugs, finding violence. And it's just like,
TikTok.
so that just proves how, like, the way of life can change people.
Yep. Media.
Because, like...
Coco Melon, doom.
Because obviously, when we were kids, we would do nothing because there was nothing available to us. But obviously
But
now...
it were like, we were in nature.
Because obviously there was nothing available to us like social medias and stuff. But obviously now there is social media, and clearly it's having an impact on people, or the songs changing people's way of lives. So obviously we didn't have that kind of music as kids, and obviously we were fine kids, but now it's like kids nowadays are completely different because of the things they're able to grow up with.
Yep.
Like, I remember if I misbehaved in school, I'm pretty sure most parents would do this. They would obviously discipline the child, possibly smack them, not obviously
Not
abuse
hard,
them,
but
just like
a
to
little,
teach them a lesson.
Yep, I remember that.
Obviously
all
take things
of
off
us do
them.
remember that. We got stuff taken off us. We were not allowed out for like maybe a week, you know. The hand was raised but not hard. And what people don't understand anymore is why the hell do you think it's necessary to just let your kid abuse you? You've created that kid and you've wanted to just let them run wild and free. This is not the way the world works anymore. Like,
Because obviously if they grow older with that same mindset,
they're going to abuse adults.
and they will probably not live for long.
They
Like,
will
that
not,
is the sad truth.
they will not prosper. And like, I were disciplined. I was never fed a silver spoon. You were disciplined. You weren't fed a silver spoon. We're in the same generation, and it always stems to the youth. Now, going back to that story of when we had to evade a bunch of young folk youths, the chavs, we seen them, they somehow got involved with us in such a fast, escalating, scary way, where a knife was pulled, you'd gone, I'd gone. We had mutuals calling me a coward because they got involved and one of them got beat up, and I was blamed horribly, saying, you should have fought him, it weren't my battle, even though I'm not going to attack a kid, you didn't even need to be there, you weren't even involved. And you know why I fled, because I didn't want to get charged, because I went to Vancouver.
Like, not long after.
Not long after, I went to Vancouver, and I kept telling them and telling them and telling them and telling them. They weren't letting it process here. No one ever does anymore. No one cares about what I've got to say or what anyone's got to say, but it's there. And if it's there, it's proof. And I had said to them over and over again, you had no reason to have to be there. And I fled, not as a coward, but because I didn't want to attack a bunch of kids underage, because that's just not in my fucking mind. And I didn't want to get charged for assault on a kid because I want to go to Canada. That's exactly why I will never be a criminal. Canada is always here, and if I am a criminal, how do I get back there? Think about that one.
I remember what happened though. Obviously, we was all just stood somewhere, and obviously, I can't remember if I'd rang them or they'd rang me, because obviously they were in the same area.
Yeah, I think they were wanting to meet up with you. And you, like, had left. And they probably, I think, when I'd left to catch up with you, they had met up with you. Because it were briefly after, I don't remember the events, but
I do. Obviously, you had brought me to that alleyway kind of area, and obviously, because they lived somewhat close to me, obviously, I can't remember if I had rang them to explain what had happened, or if they had rang me asking
if they want to hang out.
And then obviously I told them I can't, because obviously
something's happened.
And then that's when they decided to, out of their own free will, come out and meet us.
Which they always did. They just invite themselves to every situation, where therefore they got themselves involved in their own free will. Why is that my fault? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? And that's just
pinning the blame on others because you can't realise it's your own reasoning.
It's just people again. It's always people. It's nice chocolate milk, this.
Yeah.
Pretty good chalky milk. It make the depression go away.
Strawberry milkshake.
Hey baby. So like, do you wanna like maybe get down? You could come to my place. We could like do it. I can finally score. Album. I've got a date.
And when's the date?
The date is, it was gonna be originally September the 17th. The reason why this album has taken so long is because of one in particular person. And you know who you are. And you've stopped me from getting this out as early as I could be. Because they took my phone. And I had my album on that phone.
You even had to go out and buy another phone.
I had to go out and buy another phone, which still didn't have my album on it.
That too.
I had to speak to my producer, which, thank the Lord, he had my album saved on his computer. Now, if he didn't, I would have lost a whole year of my hard work because of you. Because of that one person.
Yes.
And you know who you are. And you know you're a liar. And you know...
they still come back to haunt you.
And they come back to haunt me because you're jealous of what I'm becoming and what you aren't. And that's not me being evil. I'm just preaching the truth. And the album should have been out a long time ago. Summer, I wanted it out. And I couldn't get it out because they took my phone, because of you, because they needed it for evidence, because you falsely accused me. You know who you are. I don't even have to mention any names, because why would I? I'm not going to bait anyone out.
My heart rate again.
His heart rate is almost at 700. The album, Kieran,
is very good so far. I remember you showing me snippets of it.
Thanks. Thank you. The album is out October the 3rd. And all my friends will get to see it. There's going to be a launch campaign after this one video that drops. And the songs will come out. It'll be out on iTunes. I mean, like the album coming out on October 3rd. It's mental that like you can sit here with me and finally like hear the words coming out of my mouth. You're the first person to hear the official date, October the 3rd. And I've sat and finished my final song, the main song of the album, Chronically Online. I'm doing it in this room. I've done prior songs like, you know, Around Your Place, and you've helped me with lyrics. And you've seen me in the flesh making my music, and you know how passionate I am about it.
Yeah, like the ones I have been there whilst he was recording, I am obviously a little part of it as well.
The music video, I know what you mean. Self-Destruction, you were there to see that in the flesh with the cameras and my outfit and getting into the character. You were there for a brief time, and how did that even make you feel?
Obviously, I was very honoured to be there, and obviously, I would say help produce it, but obviously, I wasn't the cameraman, so I was just there for the journey as well. But obviously, I was still honoured to be there as well, and obviously, you have appreciated that I was there for you, and obviously put me in a little bit of it as well. All the time we was all out, obviously, Zolt, like you mentioned earlier, obviously me, you, and some other person, we was all there. Obviously, we're all part of that video as well.
Yep.
And obviously we're all just having a good time.
You've been there for the journey, and every time I've pulled out my mic or pulled out my equipment and preached filming, it's always and will be good times. And basically the main story of who I aspire to be as Minor Lyrics is just a journey that I bring my friends on in an improvised way to showcase what I want to become. And I'll basically say it before the video ends. We're wrapping up here. The album is and will truly be my best project so far, and I'm very passionate about it, and it has been everything I've ever thought about, mainly for 2024 and partially 2025. And I hope everyone enjoys the music. I hope everyone enjoys the music videos. You've seen them. What did you think? They were good, weren't they? Like,
absolutely.
Way better than if you've checked out Saltnik and Layers of Fear, Hip Hop Mumble, all my proper like beginning stuff, like when I was younger. The development is like there's an influence going on here, and I am proud to announce that once this video drops, you will be getting the album soon, and we'll have a celebration, and we'll stick it on and listen, and you can let me know how you feel about it. Yeah, it's been a good one, bro. It's been emotional. It's been emotional. This has been your boy Kalen and Kieran wrapping up the video. Peace.